Could you imagine a courtroom becoming a battlefield? You're about to enter the realm of the unimaginable, in the hallowed halls of justice, where the gavel's thud echoes the solemnity of the law. Physical violence is a distant concept. Here, battles are fought with words, with evidence, and with the unyielding scales of justice. Yet there are times when these arenas of legal disputes witness an eruption of violence, shattering the illusion of their inviolability. Such was the case with David Paradiso, a name that resonates with a chilling echo in the annals of courtroom history. Paradiso, convicted for a crime most heinous, managed to transform his courtroom into a scene reminiscent of a battlefield, etching his name into the global headlines and leaving an indelible mark on the face of justice. His tale is a gripping saga of courtroom turmoil and violence, a shocking reminder of the unpredictability that lurks beneath the veneer of normalcy. From the outset, Paradiso's path was fraught with darkness. His arrest in December 2006 for the suspected demise of his girlfriend Eileen Pelt marked the beginning of a judicial saga that would culminate in a courtroom drama of epic proportions. Their short-lived relationship ended in tragedy, with Paradiso at the center of a storm that was about to engulf the courtroom. As we delve deeper into Paradiso's story, prepare for a shocking turn of events. The courtroom, ordinarily a sanctuary of order and decorum, was about to be shattered by a wave of violence that would forever tarnish its image. Paradiso's tale is not just a story of crime and punishment, but a stark reminder of the chaos that can ensue when the boundaries of law and order are breached. So brace yourselves as we journey into the heart of this courtroom-turned battlefield. David Paradiso's tale is one of courtroom chaos and violence, beginning with his arrest in December 2006. His unfortunate path started with a heinous crime, the suspected murder of his girlfriend Eileen Pelt. Their relationship, which had lasted only a few weeks, took a tragic turn in the back seat of a car driven by Deborah, Paradiso's mother. According to Deborah, she hadn't heard the couple argue until that fateful day. In a chilling act, David fatally stabbed his lover in the neck, claiming that if he didn't act first, she would take his life. This shocking act took place in the car, while Deborah continued to drive, a detail that adds a layer of surreal horror to the story. Unfazed by the gravity of his crime, Paradiso persuaded his mother to drive him from Lodi, California, to a location 15 miles away in Amador County. There, he discarded Eileen's lifeless body along a road, a callous act that left those who learned of it astounded. To explain the inexplicable, Paradiso's defense team claimed he was under the influence of methamphetamine during the encounter. He was subsequently captured and charged with the crime. However, Paradiso's story doesn't end with his arrest. His trial in 2009 would take a shocking turn, making his tale even more convoluted. His mother, Deborah, had been deeply concerned about her son's mental health in the weeks leading up to the court hearings. She noticed signs of potential breakdown, such as a profound sadness in his eyes. But as we'll see, Paradiso's trial would take an even more bizarre turn. In the weeks leading up to the trial, Paradiso's mother voiced her concerns about her son's mental health. Deborah Paradiso, a woman who knew her son better than anyone, started noticing alarming signs. She saw a certain sorrow in David's eyes, a despair that was far too profound for a mother to ignore. It was as if he was teetering on the brink of a breakdown, a collapse that could potentially lead him down an even darker path. Alongside this distressing shift in his demeanor, Deborah also harbored a chilling suspicion. She believed that David had somehow managed to procure a weapon. It was a fear that gnawed at her, an unsettling premonition that she couldn't shake off. She did what any concerned mother would do. She reported her fears to the authorities, hoping that they would take her concerns seriously. However, Deborah's fears were dismissed. The authorities conducted a search of David's holding cell but found no evidence of a weapon. It was easy for them to brush off Deborah's concerns as a mother's overbearing worry, her fear magnifying the reality of the situation. They saw no reason to believe that David Paradiso, already incarcerated, could pose an additional threat. Maybe they thought Deborah was trying to divert attention from her son's heinous crime. Perhaps they were too engrossed in the legal proceedings to pay heed to the pleas of a distressed mother. Either way, her warnings fell on deaf ears. They failed to see the potential danger looming in the horizon. a danger that Deborah Paradiso had feared all along. Little did they know ignoring Deborah's warnings would lead to catastrophic events. Deborah Paradiso's premonition, once brushed aside as an overreaction, would soon become a chilling reality. Her ignored warnings would come back to haunt everyone in the courtroom, leading to a scene of chaos and violence that no one could have anticipated. During a critical moment in the trial, David Paradiso made his move. A chilling silence fell over the courtroom as Paradiso, seemingly out of nowhere, lunged at Judge Cinder Fox. The court, which until now had been the stage for a legal drama, suddenly transformed into a horrific scene of violence. Paradiso, armed with an unidentifiable sharp weapon, attacked the unsuspecting judge. The room erupted in chaos as the once orderly courtroom turned into a battlefield. The spectators, lawyers, and court officials were thrown into a state of shock and panic as the unthinkable unfolded before their eyes. Judge Fox, caught off guard, found herself at the mercy of the man she was just moments ago presiding over. Paradiso stabbed her multiple times, his actions as swift as they were unexpected. The courtroom spectators could only watch in horror as the man on trial became the man on the attack. In the midst of the pandemonium, one man acted. Law Detective Eric Bradley, his instincts kicking in, grabbed his weapon and took aim. With the courtroom in chaos and lives hanging in the balance, Bradley faced the daunting task of neutralizing the threat. With a steady hand and a clear mind, he fired at Paradiso. The gunshot echoed through the courtroom, a stark contrast to the previously calm environment of the court proceedings. Paradiso, the man who had turned the courtroom into a battlefield, fell to the ground, the life slowly draining from him. His attack had been thwarted, but not without cost. Judge Fox, despite her injuries, was successfully evacuated from the courtroom. Thanks to the quick actions of Detective Bradley and the medical team, she would go on to make a full recovery. However, the same could not be said for Paradiso. The gunshot wounds he sustained proved too much, and he succumbed to his injuries, marking a grim end to his shocking courtroom attack. In a shocking twist, the courtroom had indeed turned into a battlefield, ending with the death of David Paradiso. The trial that was meant to deliver justice for a heinous crime had instead borne witness to another act of violence, reminding us all that even within the hallowed halls of justice, chaos can erupt in the blink of an eye. In the aftermath of this shocking event, the court was left in a state of shock and disbelief. As the dust settled, the reality of what had transpired began to sink in. A courtroom, typically a place of order and justice, had been transformed into a scene of chaos and violence. Judge Cinder Fox, despite her injuries, showed a remarkable resilience. She was successfully evacuated from the courtroom on a stretcher and made a commendable recovery. The attack had been brutal and sudden, but her determination to heal and return to her duties is a testament to her strength and dedication to justice. The impact of this event extended beyond the judge. The courtroom visitors who had come to witness a trial were instead first-hand witnesses to a shocking act of violence. It's hard to imagine the psychological toll such an incident would take on those present. The courtroom, once a symbol of fairness and justice, would forever be marred by this act of brutality. David Paradiso's mother, Deborah, was left with the tragic reality that her worst fears had come true. Her pleas for help, her concern for her son's mental health, had been dismissed. Now she had to grapple with the fact that her son was not only responsible for a heinous crime, but also a shocking act of violence in the very place where justice was supposed to be served. The tragic demise of David Paradiso and the shocking attack on Judge Fox serve as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of human behavior. It brings to light the importance of vigilance and mental health awareness, even in the most unexpected of places. This tale of courtroom chaos serves as a reminder that even in places of order and justice, the unexpected can occur.